Hello, I'm Alex. This is HyperFlow, a complete trading system I built for cTrader and use in my own trading. It consists of three components: an indicator, a cBot, and a custom statistics dashboard. Before we put them on a chart, let me explain what each one does and how they work together. HyperFlow reads price at the tick level and builds its own bars, called trend reversal bars. Unlike a traditional candlestick, a trend reversal bar closes when price travels a predefined distance, not when a certain amount of time has passed. When a new bar opens, two price thresholds are established, one continuing the previous bar's direction and one against it. Whichever threshold price reaches first closes the bar and determines its direction. Because they're driven entirely by price, these bars naturally adapt to the volatility of any instrument. Quiet periods compress, meaningful moves stand out, and every bar represents the same amount of price movement, regardless of how long it takes to form. The indicator reconstructs these bars directly from your broker's tick data and displays them on any native cTrader timeframe. No separate plugin is required, which means full compatibility with cTrader's backtesting and optimization tools. These bars then feed the trend engine, which identifies bullish and bearish trends while defining two key levels: a pullback zone, where price often retraces before continuing, and a failure zone, where the current trend is considered invalid. The engine is a direct implementation of my HyperTrend Indicator. The only difference is its input: trend reversal bars instead of standard timeframe bars. That single change makes the trend engine significantly more responsive to intraday market structure. If you'd like to learn more about HyperTrend, you'll find a link in the video description. HyperFlow also includes a statistics module. It measures every completed trend run, each uninterrupted sequence of bars moving in the same direction, and tracks data in both pips and dollar amounts. An on-chart panel displays the win rate, the mean and median result, and a breakdown by trading hour. That hourly view is especially valuable because the same settings can perform well during one part of the session and consistently lose during another. All of this data can be exported to CSV and loaded into a dashboard I built specifically for HyperFlow. It goes well beyond cTrader's native analysis tools, letting you evaluate expected returns, expected drawdown, the strongest trading sessions, custom risk simulations, and exactly when profit targets would have been reached throughout each trading day. The cBot answers the first practical question most traders have when using the indicator: where should I start, and which settings are most likely to work well? It's an exact implementation of the indicator's logic: the same trend reversal bars, the same trend engine, and the same trading signals. Because both components use identical logic, any parameter set discovered through cBot optimization transfers directly to the indicator without any changes. Now let's walk through the optimization process using the cBot. Once we've found a promising parameter set, we'll apply it to the indicator and take a closer look at what the statistics reveal. All right, let's now proceed further and find how we can use the cBot for finding optimized parameters which can be used in the indicator. Let's expand the sidebar, go to Algo section, and in this list we select the HyperFlow cBot. We'll create a new instance, which we want to run locally. For the symbol, let's choose gold because I assume it's traded by most of you. But keep in mind that this system can be applied on any market and it will provide the same reliable results. Select a period of 100 ticks. It is recommended to apply this system on tick charts because those will produce the best readings for this system. I choose 100 ticks in this demonstration because it's balanced for intraday or scalping trading, and it is also good enough to properly scale the trend reversal bars created by the indicator, and I also use this time frame in my trading, but you can run your own experiments. So let's choose this one and create the instance. Now let's go straight to Optimization module, open the parameters, and the first step will be to find a suitable trend reversal preset. This preset will then be used in the next optimization phases. It is important to remember that we need to use accurate tick data because this is the only way to produce accurate results which can be replicated when we will use the indicator on live markets. Worth mentioning also that we can run the optimization for a short data set. I recommend to use at least 1 week, and you will need to find such passes with at least 100 trades. So let's first uncheck all parameters because we don't need them at the moment. And we should start like this. For the exit model, select the first option, which is trend reversal switch. For the volume, we can set 0.1, but it really doesn't matter at this stage. Here it is important to think of a desired fixed target which we want to have for those trend reversal bar sequences. We must select all trend reversal presets. Keep the custom tick size default to 0.25. And we want to match the day reset to our local time zone. For me, it's +3. Finally, we define our trading session interval. For a general approach, I will set this interval between 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. And now we can start the first step for the optimization process. Click the Start button and wait for the results. Okay, let's check the results and search for a trend reversal preset, which is found across multiple passes. The 16 to 10 preset is found across multiple pips target values, and we have sufficient trades for the sampled data. In the next optimization phase, we need to switch our exit model to this one last option from the list. This model will reproduce our intended behavior when on live trading with a partial exit and a final exit at the trend flip. Here we need to optimize the efficient moving average parameter and the volatility parameters. Let's use a moving average length between 4 and 34 with a step of 4. For ATR length, I personally use 7 across all backtests. And for the multiplier, let's choose between 2 and 8 with a step of 1. The other parameters must remain unchanged. Click the Start button again and wait for the results. With this second phase now finished, we proceed the same as before and check some of those parameters. And let's take, for instance, one with more trades to check further in the indicator. For demonstration purposes, let's choose this one because it produced a decent profit and it has more than 100 sampled trades. The last optimization step will continue with those parameters. Trend reversal preset 16 to 10, MA length 4, ATR length 7, ATR multiplier 2, and the same session interval. All right, now that we successfully found an optimal set of parameters for the indicator, we can continue and explore the sequence tracker statistics produced with the indicator, together with the exported CSV file. Those will give more insight, help in creating more detailed trading plans compared to the binary approach produced by exit models contained in the cBot logic. This approach will help to extract more edge from this system. So for the last step of this optimization process, we need to load the HyperFlow Indicator component in the backtest module and use the same symbol, chart timeframe, and to the same accurate tick data provided by the broker. After we make sure that parameters are correctly assigned, we choose accurate tick data and select the backtest interval. Here we can select a longer interval. Let's take an entire month to get sufficient data for those enhanced statistics. Again, press Start button, and now we can visualize the data from panel or the trend reversal trend sequences as those continue to develop until this backtest finish its run. With this last step also completed, we can open the HTML dashboard page and load the generated report. This file will be created in the cAlgo folder. Here you have the complete file path. Load it into the custom dashboard, and now we can see all the generated data. The values are exactly the same ones collected by the indicator. The dashboard simply lets us analyze them in much greater detail. You'll also notice a pips and dollar risk toggle. All data can be viewed either as raw market performance in pips or as risk normalized dollar values, depending on whether you're analyzing the strategy itself or planning position sizing. The dashboard isn't here to tell me whether the strategy made money. cTrader native backtest and optimization modules already does that. Its job is to explain why it made money and whether I should expect those results to repeat. I always begin with the equity curve. The final profit isn't the first thing I look at. A steady, consistent climb is much more valuable than an impressive result built on only a handful of exceptional trades. If the curve already looks fragile, the next panel usually explains why. That next panel is robustness. This asks a simple question. If we remove the strategy's strongest trading sequences, does it still make money? The dashboard measures how dependent the result is on a small number of trades, how consistent performance is from one session to the next, and combines those measurements into a single robustness grade. When two parameter sets produce similar profits, I'll usually choose the one with the stronger robustness score. Consistency is far more valuable than an occasional spectacular result. Session P&L shows the outcome of every trading day, helping me understand whether profits arrive consistently or only through occasional large winners. Drawdown by session shows the largest intraday decline experienced during each session. That's the number I use when thinking about position sizing and acceptable risk, not the average drawdown, but the worst one the strategy has actually experienced. At this point, I know whether the strategy is profitable, whether the results are reliable, and whether the historical risk is something I'd realistically be willing to trade. This is where the dashboard becomes most valuable. The hour profile presents every trading hour independently. It measures expectancy, win rate, average outcome, frequency, and sample size, showing exactly when the strategy performs well and when it doesn't. This is where a general strategy becomes a personalized trading plan. Instead of trading the entire day, I can focus only on the hours that consistently produce positive results. The session equity curves reorganize the same information by weekday, making it easy to spot recurring patterns. Sometimes certain weekdays contribute very little, while others consistently carry the strategy. Finally, the hour heat map compresses all of that information into a single visual overview. Strong trading hours immediately stand out, weak hours become obvious, and it's an excellent way to confirm the session windows suggested by the detailed statistics. The last analytical tool is the cap simulation. Instead of assuming every trading session runs until the close, the dashboard asks a practical question. What happens if I stop trading after reaching a fixed daily profit target? It replays every historical session across a range of profit targets and shows which targets produce the most repeatable results, not simply the highest returns, but the most consistent ones. That turns historical performance into a practical operating rule. One important note, the dashboard analyzes statistical market behavior, not simulated trades. Spread, commission, and slippage aren't included here, and that's intentional. Those real trading costs are applied during optimization with the HyperFlow cBot. The dashboard identifies where the statistical edge exists. The cBot verifies that the edge survives real execution. Before we finish, I'd like to leave you with one final thought about what HyperFlow is really designed to do. It would be easy to think of it as an indicator with a cBot attached, or as a cBot supported by an indicator. But neither of those descriptions captures the real idea behind the project. HyperFlow is a workflow for building and refining a trading strategy. The cBot searches for promising parameter sets. The indicator shows you exactly how those parameters behave, sequence by sequence and hour by hour. And the dashboard transforms that data into practical decisions. Which parameter sets are worth keeping, how much risk they require, when they perform best, and what results you can realistically expect. Each component has a different role, but they all serve the same purpose. Together, they form a continuous process, from market data, to analysis, to validation, and finally, to execution. For me, that's the real value of HyperFlow. It's not about finding a signal to follow. It's about building a trading process you can measure, test, and improve with confidence. If you'd like to learn more, start by reading the product pages for both the HyperFlow Indicator and the HyperFlow cBot, where you'll find detailed descriptions of each component and how they fit together. After purchase, you'll receive the complete package, including the dashboard application, comprehensive setup and usage guides, and step-by-step documentation covering the entire workflow. You'll also be invited to a live online onboarding session, where we'll go through the system together, explore the optimization process in more depth, and answer any questions you may have. So, let the data decide. Thank you for watching.